I don't do disingenuous. I cannot, okay? At my core, I have to tell the truth, even if it harms me, okay? That's the kind of guy that I am. I believe in honor. I believe in duty. I believe in respect. I believe in telling the truth, man, so that you get the full picture, the complete picture, so you can make a decision, okay? Interest rates, they are the elephant in the room all day, every single day. I don't know why Jerome Powell and the Fed feel like just sticking it to us right now. Look, rates are really not high per se, okay? I just want to make sure I'm very clear. I am not going to sit here and pretend like we don't have an elephant in the living room. Listen, I can't be disingenuous. I can't lie to you. I can't make stuff up, okay, just to make myself feel good and to try to make you feel good about buying a home in this market, okay? I just can't do it, all right? We know that interest rates are elevated. Now, if you go back and you look historically over the last 30 years or so, what you're gonna find is that at its peak, rates were as high as 18% back in the 1980s. The difference, however, is that home prices were much lower than what they were, but it's still at 18%. The people back then felt it, but you guess what though? They still found a way to be able to buy homes. And when the rates went down to 10%, those folks jumped at the opportunity to refinance. Well, right now we're sitting, between somewhere at 7 and 8% interest rates. And the big difference right now, of course, is that home prices have skyrocketed nationwide, in particular here in my city where I live, in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, we're going to be talking about whether or not in 2025, our current year of our Lord, should you be renting or buying a home in the Charlotte metro? And what are the costs, okay? The cost comparison, I should say, from renting to buy a home, okay? There's a big difference. There was a time when I could do a video and tell you flat out that your rent was going to be just as much as your mortgage payment. Well, things have changed significantly, as you guys know. We're going to talk about that today and more, all right? If you're new to the channel, my name is Sean Gerald. I'm a local real estate agent. I'm a real estate investor. I'm actually a brokerage owner. So you real estate agents out there looking for a home, give me a call. And listen, also, let me extend attention for my Marines out there. I'm a United States Marine. I serve my country, man. Listen, I love the Marine Corps. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Mr. Landrum tried to trick me and say, oh, you're one of those ex-Marines. Sir, there's no such thing. Once you're a Marine, you always are a Marine. And if you served in another branch of military, listen, thank you for your service as well. We love everybody on our channel, okay? But I do like to shout out my veterans, man, because I do understand service and what that looks like. Now, if you're moving here, listen, doesn't matter. 9 days, 9 weeks, 9 months, I am here to serve you, okay? Give me a call. My info is going to be in that description box below. Call me, 704-340-3822. I will pick up my phone. If I don't, shoot me a text message, email me, skywrite me, whatever you want to do that. Now, I will say this as well. I'm a Charlotte native. You're not going to find many Charlotte natives hanging around the city of Charlotte that got priced out. A lot of my friends got priced out. Listen, we're going to talk about that today as well. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. We're going to jump right into our video. Let's go get it.
Sean Gerald, Charlotte's new construction expert, helping you find the best dirt.
All right, friends, welcome back to the channel. Listen, Charlotte, North Carolina is one of the fastest growing cities in the country, all right? Oh, absolutely it is. We've got on average about 117 people a day moving to our city. How are they keeping up? How are we keeping up with infrastructure? Doing a pretty good job so far. So if you're planning to move here or already called the Queen City home, you're probably asking yourself, should I rent or buy in 2025? Well, in this video, we're going to break down the real cost, the pros and cons, and what nobody's telling you about the Charlotte housing market. So let's jump right into the video, guys, all right? So let's talk about what it really costs to live in Charlotte. Now, if you're buying a home, your monthly expenses will include things like your mortgage, insurance, taxes, and maintenance. That does add up to a bit more than renting, which mainly covers your rent, utilities, and small insurance policy. Now, renting can feel like an easier choice, of course, okay? Of course. Listen, less paperwork, number one, okay? it's already an easier choice, right? It just really truly is, okay? Renting does feel like in some cases an easier choice, but here's the catch though. When you're renting, that money is gone. It's going down a black hole. You're never going to see it again. As a matter of fact, you're paying your landlord's mortgage. So whether you know it or not, you're still paying a mortgage payment. It's just not yours. You're not the one getting ready to take advantage of the tax breaks that come or the appreciation that comes when owning that home that you're renting. When you're buying, okay, you're putting money toward money. You're putting money towards something that grows in value over time. That's your home, okay? In the Charlotte Metro, we're averaging an appreciation, guys. Listen, right around 4%, 4.5%. Forecast for this year said we're going to be between 2.5% to 4.5% in appreciation. Of course, it's going to determine what part of Charlotte you live in, the greater Charlotte Metro. It's going to matter. But when you're renting, your landlord gets that bump. When he goes to sell, that's his money he's going to put in his pocket, not you, okay? If you own your home, though, however, then you get to put that money in your pocket. Is it a headache up front going through the paperwork, working with your lender, jumping through all the hoops? Hey, why'd you have a late payment back in 1900? Okay, these are kind of questions they're going to be asking you, and you're going to be answering as you go through the process. But at the end of the day, the reward could be very, very substantial for you. Okay, I can tell you that right now. Listen, Charlotte homes prices are expected to climb in 2025, even though we're in this kind of market. Average home price right now around Charlotte, my friends, is right around $400,000. Do I think prices are inflated a little bit? I do. And this is why right now listen, I just got a client under contract. House was on the market for $700,000. I pulled the comps on this home. I knew it was overpriced. Okay, sent that data to the listing agent. We offered them roughly $30,000 less. Okay, we got it. And then we got our appraisal and we were vindicated. But my client is still moving into the home with $10,000 in equity. Okay, so I'm very, very happy for them that we negotiated that kind of deal. But this is what's happening all over the greater Charlotte Metro. So even though interest rates are elevated, I'm not going to call them high, and home prices are certainly higher than what they were. Okay, thanks to all the migration that we've got coming to Charlotte, we are still getting some deals though on homes here in the Charlotte Metro. So you may not have to rent. Okay, I know you're looking at Zillow, you're looking at Realtor.com and all these other places and looking at these home prices and you're saying to yourself, hey, home prices are too high. Well, guess what? You got to talk to an agent, okay? Talk to one that's not afraid to take a shot, as a matter of fact. Could be me, could be one of our agents at our firm as well. But we're not afraid to go in and take a shot and lowball, okay, an offer to a seller, especially if we feel like, number one, the home's been on the market too long. Okay, the condition of that home is not, in great shape. You got to come in and spend a lot of money to get that house updated. Listen, sellers, listen, I've been accused sometimes of having dad eyes looking at my kids. Okay, I think my daughters are beautiful, right? But I've been accused of having dad eyes. Maybe my kids aren't that beautiful, right? But they're beautiful to me. People feel the same way about their homes too. They have home eyes. Okay, this is my house. I put all this stuff in it, or I tore it down, but it's still mine. It's still worth something. And sometimes they price their homes too high and they sit on the market for 10 days, 20 days, 100 days. I've seen stuff on the market for a year. Now, some of these folks, they're not desperate to sell, so they don't negotiate. But in most cases, yeah, we can get them to come down some. So it's just really about you taking a chance, getting in the game, taking your shot at homes that may be slightly above what you're pre-approved for, because you never know, you might get your dream home at a discount, all right? So just think about that when you're thinking about going to rent a home or buy a home. There are some deals out here in the marketplace. Now, with that said, our real estate market is starting to stabilize, okay? After years of rapid price increases. And listen, when I say years, all of this started during the pandemic, okay? Pre-pandemic, I could get somebody into a 5-bedroom home, and I did it a bunch. 5-bedroom home, okay? Amazing, 2,500, 2,800 square feet, all right? $245,000, okay? I'm speaking about one home. I'm thinking about one right now from a gentleman that moved down from New York. He was retired, met him at a restaurant here in Charlotte. His house right now, listen, he's sitting on probably $300,000 in equity in that home. This is just from 2019, okay, into 2018, 2019, when he bought that home. So we've had some years, okay, of rapid price hikes, but most of it, though, my friends, was driven by the pandemic. Now, mortgage rates, we expected them anyway to dip below 6.5% sometime this year, and we're still praying for that to happen. You got neighborhoods though out here like Optimus Park, okay, Belmont, and South Park. These are hot spots, okay, in the Charlotte metro. They are hot spots because they're typically right around uptown Charlotte. But Belmont, for example, not Belmont, but South Park, for example, okay? South Park is where all of our old money is, for example, right? You don't find a lot of new construction over in the South Park area. It's where you got your luxury mall, okay? Where you got your Tiffany's, your Louis Vuittons, your Gucci's, okay? All, your Nordstroms, your Neiman's, and all these fancy stores. You got regular stores too, but this is where people go for luxury shopping. It's right around that neighborhood. So guess what? Home prices over here are absolutely insane, but it's still a hot spot because people want to live in that area. But listen, if renting suits your lifestyle better, then areas like the University, okay, East Charlotte, these are rental hotspots, okay, thanks to their affordability and proximity to major employers, I should say. But I would tell you this here as well. When you're going into those areas, you're now starting to also find affordable new construction. Zip code 28215. And I did a video. You guys can find it back there. Did a video on 28215, man. There's a lot. When I say a lot, there is a ton of construction going on in these areas, even right around where I live. And I've been up in the University North Lake area for quite some time, but even right around where I live right now, DRB Homes, I think they bought every empty lot or plot of land or acreage around here because they're building right now, guys. I'm talking about in close proximity, within, listen, a quarter of a mile of each other. They've got at least 3 new townhome communities, I should say, popping up right now. Pulte's got a neighborhood going. Eastwood has a neighborhood going. Taylor Morrison has a neighborhood going. All of these are going to be in proximity to the University, North Lake, and easy access back to uptown Charlotte. So you may not, again, have to rent. Even builders are negotiating right now their prices. We're driving them down too and getting some crazy incentives on their homes as well. So there you go. Listen, if you're thinking about buying, renting, we're going to talk about now what the deal breaker may be for a lot of people, okay? The deal breaker is going to be the upfront cost. Yeah, the upfront cost. Now, here's where things get a little bit tricky, okay? Now, upfront costs, listen, sometimes it breaks and kills the deal. This is why we're always asking these sellers for closing costs on the back end to really, truly try to help out. Well, as I mentioned already, home prices around the Charlotte metro, right around $400,000 on average, okay? Now, if you're a first-time home buyer, you got an FHA loan at 3.5%, you can expect a down payment of right around $14,000. That's if you don't have any kind of down payment assistance, okay? And boy, oh boy, I've seen some people walk into homes scot-free with DPA, okay? Now, if you got a first-time home buyer and you got a conventional loan at 3%, guess what? Goes down some. You get that same down payment at $12,000 though. Now for my investors, they're the ones that are going to be paying, but everybody thinks, oh, I got to put down 20%. No, not necessarily. The investors, however, though, they're putting out 20% on that same home. They've got to come out of pocket with about $80,000. Now, there are other ways to kind of skin that cat, seller financing, you name it, okay, to be able to get into one of those homes. But the upfront costs are typically what scare people the most. So I advise you, man, if you're going to buy a home sometime in the near future, get yourself a savings plan, okay? Start saving money like right away. Like do it right now, or talk to grandma and granddad, let them know that you want to buy a home. Maybe they'll help you out as well. But that right there is, typically if rates are good, that is still one of our elephants in our living room, okay? People just don't have the disposable income to pay that. Now you can borrow money from your 401k if you got one of those. So again, you got to reach out, talk to your real estate agent, and find out all the ways that you can come up with that money for that down payment for that home, okay? So just keep that in mind. There's other ways to skin that cat, right? Now, again, we talked about ease of renting, okay? Renting typically requires just a deposit, guys, okay? $2,000 or $2,700. Way easier, okay? Like way easier. But again, the drawback to that, you don't own it. You'll never own it. Somebody else does. They can raise your rent, kick you out. You keep your deposit, right? all those things. So Charlotte is a renter city. There's absolutely no doubt about that. If you go uptown Charlotte, South End, North End, Noda, pick one. Man, listen, there's a lot of new construction rentals around here, okay? A ton. Right behind my home right now, okay, somebody clearing the trees out. I'm pissed, okay? But they're putting a luxury apartment complex, 2 of them, right behind my home. I don't like it. I got a house for sale if somebody wants to buy it, okay? I got one for you right here if you want to buy a home, okay? But that's what you can kind of expect for upfront costs if you decide to buy a home, okay? 3% if you're going to be a conventional buyer first time, 3.5% for an FHA first time home buyer. If you're an investor, again, right around 20%. So who should be buying or renting in these Charlotte market, right? So how do you know which option is right for you? Well, I tell you what, if you got stable finances and strong credit core, it's credit core. It is your core, okay? Maybe it's time for you to buy a home, okay? If you plan to stay in Charlotte long term, maybe it's time for you to buy a home, okay? If you want to build equity, okay, and value over time, maybe buying a home is for you too, right? Now, if you want to rent though, right? You need flexibility. You're unsure about your timeline. Maybe you should rent a home, okay? We'll talk about that, right? You want to avoid maintenance and responsibilities, okay? You prefer lower upfront costs. If those things are appealing to you, then you know what? Maybe you should rent. Now, listen, I don't care if you buy a home to live in, okay? I own an Airbnb as well, all right? Fernando, one of my good friends, is a lender. He owns an Airbnb. Listen, his Airbnb does $13,000 to $20,000 a month, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you're gonna get an Airbnb and it does that. He's got a luxury Airbnb. It's in uptown Charlotte, overlooking the city, pool in the backyard. It's amazing. But my Airbnb does well too. These are cash flow opportunities. So whether you wanna buy a home and rent it out, okay, you should do that, okay? Because again, you can continue to rent yourself, okay? You don't have to move into the home, rent it out. All right, rent it out. One of my clients that was actually living, his name is Brett, out in Denver, Colorado. He was renting in Denver, but I helped Brett and his friends buy 4 or 5 properties here in Charlotte, and they're all Airbnbs, and they're all doing well. He managed these from out in Denver, and he loved them so much he moved to Charlotte. Okay, we're gonna look for some more houses now for Brett. All right. So listen, again, you don't have to buy to live in the home. Think about being an investor as well, okay? The appreciation around here is absolutely great. So you can have the best of both worlds, my friends. Rent, buy, and stay in your rental if you like where you live. And I do know they got some great luxury apartment complexes around the city of Charlotte. So go figure, could be an option for you. But let's talk about either option, man, so that we can help you find what's gonna work best for you, all right? For homeowners, guys, the value isn't just in the equity, okay? It's also about having a place to truly call your own, a place to call home. You know, for me, I bought my first home in 1999, I believe it was, here in Charlotte, out of the Marine Corps. I didn't know I could buy a home, okay? I'd always been renting. I did not know that that was something that I could do. Well, listen, back then, I didn't have great credit. I didn't know anything about credit either. Well, somebody said, hey, listen, you can buy a home, talk to a lender, and actually got pre-approved. It's the best decision I ever made. Now, I was terrified of that mortgage payment, okay? Listen, home price, my God. I was able to get a 4-bedroom home, 2.5 bath. Okay, here's a lesson for everybody. 2.5 bath for $145,000 with 2,300 square feet right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Here's the crazy story behind it. Okay, I won't say this guy's name. I knew him, but didn't know he was buying a home. This guy had built this beautiful home, okay? Was supposed to close in 2 days, and that joker went out and bought a car. Why he go buy a car, y'all? Why? Who told him to go buy a car? Let me get that loan back, sir. You can't buy that house. I would have seen the house a couple of days later. I only found that it was him because he was already getting mail at the house. And I was like, no way. He wasn't the dummy that did that. Yes, he was the dummy to do that. Listen, if you're buying a home, you don't go buy a car. You don't go open up a bunch of credit cards, okay? You talk to your lender and your real estate agent before you do anything, because you will and can possibly lose, okay? And depending on where you are in that process, you might lose your money too. So if you can avoid buying that car, wait, okay? Wait. Now, if you just have to do it, go on and do it. But I'm telling you right now, you can lose your home, okay, by going out and doing something like he did and letting somebody like me come and benefit from all those beautiful finishes that you put in that house, man. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, because I sold that home for some good money some years ago. All right. So listen, guys, buying, renting, that's what we're talking about. I digressed a little bit, man. I like to have a little fun. Okay. You guys know I like to have a little fun. All right. Listen, why is the Charlotte market different? Why? Okay. Charlotte isn't just another city. It's a city of opportunity. I tell everyone that's moving here that if you have a dream, you have a hope, you have an idea, we're the ground level right now in Charlotte, okay? You can come here and really change your life, okay? You can come here as for example, okay, pick something, an engineer, okay? You want to be a doctor, now be a doctor, okay? You come here, man, you're working for a company, but now you want to open up your restaurant. Come do that. This is a city of opportunity. I see it all the time. People move here, they come here with jobs, and then bam, they got a business open, okay? And the business flourishes, okay? We got major job growth over here in Charlotte as well. You got major companies expanding to the Charlotte area, okay? Both buyers and renters have options, all right? Now, listen, inventory, it does remain, I'm not gonna say tight, it's still low. We're not at the inventory levels that we were pre-COVID or pre-pandemic, right? But inventory levels are starting to stabilize as well. And with that, housing prices, we hope anyway, should come down some. Now, I told you at the very beginning, we do expect home prices to appreciate anywhere from 2.5% to 4.5%. But we're hoping, though, that with the increased inventory, okay, that sellers have to deal, okay? This is what we're hoping that they have to deal, giving you more options out there to negotiate and get a home at the price you wanted, okay? Now, we did mention, though, neighborhoods like Belmont, you got South End. Listen, home prices here, they're not going down. Greer Heights, they're not going down. Smallwood, where I grew up, they're not going down, okay? These areas are freaking hot. They're right around uptown Charlotte. The walkability is great. You got parks, you got everything that you need in those areas. So home prices over there, probably not going to come down, okay? But with rent prices also expected to climb and home value steadily inclining, okay? Your decision is going to depend on how you want to navigate these market trends, period, okay? I know this as well. Most landlords said that this year, they're going to be raising their rent right around 4%. This is 80% of those surveyed. So they're going to be raising their rent right around 4% this year. So again, when you're renting, you've got no control over, somebody else basically controls how you're going to live, what you're going to pay, whether you can stay there or not, okay? I've talked to people that have been given 30 days to move out of their homes. Didn't read the lease that good, okay? Got 30 days to move out of their homes, and they called me and said, hey man, listen, I got 30 days to get out of here. Can you help me find a new place? Maybe, right? Maybe. How's your credit, right? How's your rental history, right? Listen, somebody else is controlling how you live when you rent a home. Do you really want that? Okay, probably not. So friends, listen, whether you're looking to rent or buy, it's all about aligning your choice with your goals, all right? Listen, if you need to figure out what the next step is, call me, okay? 704-340-3822. Let me to help you navigate the Charlotte market like a pro. And you probably want to do that anyway with somebody that actually grew up right here in the Charlotte Metro, all right? My name again is Sean Gerald, guys, with Lifestyle International Realty here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I can't wait to talk to you. Give me a call, all right? I'll see you guys soon. Comment below what you think about renting versus buying, okay? Sean, I'm never buying a home, okay? Sean, I'm tired of renting. Help me find something, all right? Call me, guys. Can't wait to talk to you, all right? Hope you have a great day and happy freaking New Year to you. Let's go get it.